All right, so on Wednesday night, we begin on TNT, the Western Conference Finals. What a showdown. There is plenty of star power with Steph going up against Luka, who has been the second leading scorer so far this postseason. In the regular season, if you want to take much from that, the Mavs won 3 of 4 from the Warriors, but neither team really at full strength all season long. Draymond Green only played 1 game against Dallas so far this season to that point. Both teams feeling pretty darn good about themselves. Coming in, Steve Kerr about the confidence level.
They just won a Game 7 on the road against the best team in the league, so I'm sure they're feeling confident. We're feeling confident. Our guys have guts. You know, they're not afraid of anything, and that's where our experience helps us.
What's the key in defending a team with Luka?
I would say playing your hardest and trusting your teammates are the 2 keys.
I never expect to be here, so I'm living my best life. You know, this is the dream. I was worried, you know, after the Game 7, before Game 7, I was saying this might be my last game of the NBA season, you know, but I wasn't ready. You know, I wanted to play basketball. So tomorrow, another basketball game that I will enjoy. I get to play at least 4. You never know. So I'm just happy to be playing basketball, man. It's a pleasure for me.
Luka's a little different. The ball has been his stage, and he enjoys it. And as you guys will put it, the bigger it gets, the better he plays. So hopefully that's what happens for us. But again, we don't talk about the big stage. It's just we're on the road trying to figure out a way to win.
That guy right there, Jason Kidd, is wowing people with the way he has not only adjusted from game to game, but in game. Let's start, though, with Luka, who has really been a sensation, obviously through the first few years of his career, but now getting to the conference finals for the first time. Warriors, known for their defense, known for their versatility. How do they stop, or at least slow down, Luka Doncic?
I don't know if they can, Jared. This young man is playing like he's unguardable. What can you take away from him? He can score at all 3 levels. He can shoot the 3. He can take you off the dribble. Watch this right here, Luka offensively. Look, Golden State has a foot in the paint. They got guys, and Klay Thompson starts to attack. Look at this. Because you don't have a rim protection, he shoots the layup off the wrong foot to trick you so you can't even try to block the shot. Klay Thompson is a all-defensive type player before he got hurt. Look at what Luka's doing, and this is not even fair right here. What he's doing to Kevon Looney right here. It's not even fair. And when he gets into the paint, he draws the contact to still get the and one opportunity. Here he is again, one-on-one against a young guy, Kuminga. He already sees where he wants to go. And this is the fact. Because Dallas have others who can make threes, you're afraid to come help because the thing that Luka does just as well as score is pass the ball. And one thing you can't do, when he gives the ball up in a half-court situation, you can't let him get it back because he just bags Steph Curry down. And then he just shoots over him. And as he falls back, he creates even more space. Here's Luka again right here. Andrew Wiggins, 6'8", tough defender. Nope. You got 3 Golden State Warriors on the ball, and watch Luka Doncic, right? He's not the quickest guy in the building, but he's the most craftiest guy. He finds the nooks and crannies. But the thing that he does so good is when he gets smaller players on his hip, they can't get back in front of him. They can't reposition. And then when he gets you there, he keeps you there. And he has so many different ways of scoring. He can shoot the fadeaway. He can shoot a drop step. And Greg said it off air. His footwork is impeccable. So I don't know if one guy, you can make him shoot a bad percentage, Greg, but you're not going to stop him from getting to his spots and getting his shots.
Well, there have been some comps. The Warriors have been saying, Anthony Slater of The Athletic wrote a great column about how the Warriors are looking at Luka, about how they defended Harden in his heyday at times. That's what the Warriors are looking at.
James Harden this big. Luka that big.
Much big. And that's the point I was getting at. With no Andre Iguodala, at least for Game 1, probably not for Game 2, maybe not at all for the series, Warriors are going to have some issues figuring out which bodies to throw at Luka. Let's look at the other side of the matchup here. Okay, so the Mavs have been sensational on the defensive end, and they've been using team defense. So now you've got this new death lineup, which the Warriors have minimized in the second round, how much they used Steph, Klay, and Jordan Poole. How does Dallas defend that?
It'll be a challenge for him, no doubt about it. Those 3 guys, if they're playing well. The one thing that's been unique this postseason is they really haven't had a scenario where all 3 have played at a high level. So That's a positive, though, if you're Golden State, because you got to assume at some point that it clicks for them. It looks like Klay is getting a little bit more of a rhythm. And so if you're Dallas, to me, it's all about the three-point line. You've got to make Golden State take a lot of twos. You got to be able to get them off the three-point line. I think that's going to be critical for them, even if they're scoring. I think if you can limit the amount of threes they take, because they're not a team that's going to get a lot of paint points, right? They don't have anybody that can consistently score in the paint, really, except maybe Steph, when he's able to get guys out on the island. So I think that's going to be big. And then the other aspect of it, the 4 games they played, they won the turnover battle 3 times. And that's going to be critical. We've seen with Golden State this season, their struggles. And I still think they're going to struggle because the way they play, they try to hit a lot of home runs with their passes. So they're going for scoring plays a lot. And when those don't happen, if they're live ball turnovers, that's when they're going to have some issues. So for me, it's about, can we limit their three-point attempts, and can we force them to try to thread the needle on a lot of passes, get those turnovers, and then let that really fuel our offense.
Yeah, Dallas, best three-point shooting team in terms of makes per game in the postseason. Turnovers have been massive. The offensive glass will be huge in this series. Not a lot of big bodies for either one of these teams. Coming up on Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T. We've got a lot more to get you set here, including this massive matchup on Wednesday on TNT between the Mavs and Warriors. You're going to want to tune into PCL here before all the action gets started live on NBA TV, and post-game press conferences, as you know, all throughout the playoffs are right here. That might be more difficult to get Al Horford back in the lineup for Game 2. You got to have 2 negative tests within the span of 24 hours apart, or your CT level has to be at a certain number for the NBA doctors to clear you for you to go back in.
So is that like the ACT we used to take in school?
More like the SAT for you, yeah.
I took them both.
Or somebody took it for you?
No. I went to the Ivy League.
Greg went to Vegas, man.
Come on, man.
I know he took.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I got a doctorate.
He went to Vegas. You know he took his own test.
All right, let's go live to Miami, where Ime Udoka is going to address the breaking news.
Find out about Al, and based on NBA protocols, was today the first day the team was aware of this situation?
Found out about Al about 2 hours ago, and yes, today was first day.
Ime, did Al test positive?
As always, we don't comment on our status of our guys. He's feeling fine, and we'll go from there. Wait to see results and tests and future tests, and like always, I don't comment on our status of our guys.
With Marcus and Al out, who are you starting in their place?
Derek and Grant.
Does this mean you miss Al for the first 2 games of this series?
Oh, it's unsure. That's more of a medical question, honestly, but there are different protocols and tests that have to be passed, and we'll know more going forward. But it's not a definite that he's out for 2 games.
You made just a thought on not having those 2 players, but also you guys trying to step up again tonight in this situation.
We've unfortunately had quite a bit of practice with this early in the season due to injury and COVID situations, and so just like Game 2 when we won without Marcus and Derek stepped up, and then the last 3 games without Robert, other guys have to step up, and we'll do the same with these guys out.
Ime, what's the process for Al to get back? Is it similar to early in the season? And what have you kind of seen Robert be able to do over the last week or so here to ramp up for a return tonight?
Regarding Al, it is testing that has to be, a certain number have to be passed. Don't know if it's specific days, but a specific number of tests have to be passed. And with Rob, he has looked better throughout the last week. Obviously, he was available for Game 7 on a needed basis, and we were comfortable with who we had, so we didn't go there. But Rob has looked better.